Well, welcome back to my channel. This video is for Black women who are dating outside of the Black community or who are thinking about dating outside the Black community. I want you to watch this video and then we're going to come back and discuss it.
When I met you, I really thought for the first time ever, wow, I didn't know Black girls could be pretty like that. I didn't know that Black girls could be that pretty. So really, I was astounded. It took me back, and
that's sweet.
There was music on this part of the video, and I cut it out. But number 312, why you should just stay single. I thought that was funny, the way that they edited that video. Anyway, that is the number one type of white man or man outside of the Black community that you need to stay away from. I hate that she saw what he said as a compliment because it wasn't. And this is the type of stuff that I really wish Black women would understand. And this is why I really advocate for you to be single for multiple years before getting into another relationship. Because in that time, if you are not pining away and distraught about being single and you're actually getting to know yourself and you're actually doing fun activities and you're taking on new projects and you're trying new things and you're working on yourself in that way, when you get in situations like this and you hear a white man say some BS to you like that, you will exit stage left with the quickness because you will be able to recognize how much of a red flag that was. That was not a compliment. And if you are if you are a Black woman that's dating a white man or thinking about dating a white man or an Asian man or whoever outside of the Black community, that is a red flag. A man who says something like, I don't usually date you. That's just like that you're pretty for a Black girl type stuff. Like that's the same thing. You need to stay away from people like that. That man is going to constantly remind her that she was not his preference the whole relationship. Okay. There are so many different types of white men. They are not a monolith, just like all Black women are not a monolith. Okay. I need y'all to understand that there are going to be trash human beings in every race. There's good and bad and mediocre and somewhere in the middle in every race. You cannot have the mindset dating outside the Black community that white is right, or if you go over here, they're automatically going to be better. No, you still have to be smart and use your head. That was not a compliment. And I don't think that man is going to be very nice to her in that relationship. Something will go wrong and months or years down the road, they'll break up and then she'll be like, but there were no signs. And that was the sign right then and there. I mean, the way that she smiled, like, that is so sweet. Please understand that it's not a compliment. It never has been and it never will be. If you don't understand why that's not a compliment, you don't need to be dating. This is the time for you to work on yourself or be single forever, be celibate, whatever. I don't know what y'all are planning to do with the rest of your lives, but right now is not the time to be dating. You don't have the confidence. You don't have the self-esteem to get out into the dating world and be able to navigate it safely if you believe something like that was a compliment. Or anything along that same scale. Okay. I do say this though. There are different types of white men. And so you have to go into the dating world understanding that most men are trash, regardless to what their race is. But you have to go into it loving yourself, putting yourself in high regard before you get out there. Because if not, a white man, a Black man, an Italian man, an Asian man, whoever. And I'm not saying Italian is a race. I know it's not. But y'all get what I'm saying. Whatever type of man you date will drag you to hell. You will be dragged. It just is what it is. Because most men are predatory by nature. They're always looking to take, and not give anything in return. And then once they're done with you, they will discard you. So you need to go into the dating thing knowing that. I will say this. Black love is a scam. So if you're a Black woman and you are hoping for this like fake fairy tale crap that society has brainwashed us with, your chances of finding that is very low. But I'm going to tell you that if you are looking for some variant of that to some degree, your chances increase by a lot by dating outside of the Black community. That is what I will tell you. You still have to navigate sharky waters when you date out, but you have a much higher chance of finding that outside of the Black community than you do in the Black community. Why? Men are socialized in a patriarchy regardless of what race they are, but Black men and white men are socialized very different. Okay? The patriarchy is an umbrella for all men. But over here, these men got these set of problems. Over there, that group of men got those set of problems. Over here, this man got it. And it's all about navigating these sharky waters to figure out what works best for you if you choose not to be alone. Okay? Because I will always say be alone if you can be away. Those of us who are still dealing with men, okay? There are some of us that are like, I ain't nowhere to where I'm going the rest of my life and not getting deed down, if y'all know what I'm saying. Not happening. I'm a Scorpio woman. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. I'm just saying that for shits and giggles. But I'm just saying there are some women out there that are like, no, sorry, I don't know about y'all. I've always enjoyed spicy time. I'm sorry if that's not been your experience, but that's been mine. I'm not going to go the rest of my life and not get deed down. Okay, so you got women like me who are not going to stop dating men for that reason. You got some women who are like, I don't take men seriously, but I will take their money. They'll deal with men for that reason. You got some women who are like, I don't really care for this guy, but I do want to be a mother. I just want him to donate his sperm. Okay, you got all types of reasons why women will still deal with men. If you don't want to deal with any of that, be single. That's your best bet. If you're going to deal with them as a Black woman, in my opinion, if you are looking for this so-called love, protector, provider stuff, or whatever you're looking for, your chances are better off in other communities dating other groups of men. Point blank, period. Okay? But you still need to know how to be smart. You still need to know how to, I hate using the word vet, because that word is so iffy and I don't think you can vet people that lie, but that's a whole nother topic. But you still have to keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes open, and pay attention. Okay? That's all I'm saying about that. Also, I'll say being a Black woman who dates white men and have dated white men, the topic of decentering men comes up a lot with myself and many other women content creators who are involved with men in some way or another, like you're a sugar baby or you are married or you're just dating, whatever. You can still decenter men and still have men in your life. All it means is that they are a certain portion of your life. They don't make up your whole life. The way a lot of women somehow foolishly believe that that's how you're supposed to be in relationships and married and stuff. No. Women who lose themselves in marriages have a miserable life. Women who lose themselves in any man, whether you're dating or married or whether you're whatever you are, situationship, your life is going to be miserable. You can have a man live your best life and not give up anything to be with that man, not sacrifice. Okay, not throw away your career and move across town when he wouldn't move across town for you, and he's ready to have babies now, but you're not ready. You still want to finish law school or finish your trade or whatever, and he's trying to pressure you, and you're making all of these sacrifices. And so you believe that that's how women are supposed to show up in relationships. It's all about sacrifice and how much BS you can put up with. That is not the answer. That is never going to be the answer. Smart women decenter men, either single, in a marriage, or in a relationship. Smart women are decentering men. They're not giving up their hobbies. They're not giving up their friends. They're not moving across the country, even though it completely shatters and inconveniences their own life. They're not having babies when they don't want to. They're not doing it. They're not doing that. You're in my life for whatever reason. We're going to have fun together. When it's over, it's over. It's that simple. That is how you can be in a relationship and decenter men. You're in my life. You are not the focal point. You are here. You add whatever value over here. I provide myself with all the other value. That way, if you start tripping or cheat or lie or whatever, you can get kicked to the curb and my life is still going to go on easily. Smooth sailing. Why? Because I ain't give up shit to begin with. And you need to have that same mindset with whatever race you choose to date, especially as a Black woman, and you're going to date particularly a white man. It's the same vetting process, which I hate that word. You still, you must keep who you are intact and never shatter that for anybody. Now, we're going to get into this final clip that I want to share. It's a couple minutes long. It's Anwar. Y'all know I share his clips on my channel a lot. I enjoy his takes. And I just wanted to add him to add a little bit more perspective to this topic.
Be with black men. Not all black women are supposed to be with black men. Yeah, and many of you are trying to make fetch happen. You guys are trying to get with black men, and no shade, but black love is a scam. Why is it a scam? It's a scam because for every 100 black women, there are only 88 black men. And black men actually interracially date and marry at 3 times the rate of black women. So there literally are not enough black men to go around. So in this video, I wanted to share with you how to date white men. Okay, girl, if you're one of these black women, then you probably need to be dating a white man, okay? Now, if you have oversized glasses, white. If you have a septum piercing, white. If you wear denim jackets with the sleeves rolled up, white. If you are a suburban girl, an emo girl, an alt girl, heavy metal girl, white. If your hair is braided with a little bit of new growth and tucked behind the ears, white. If you have a big curly wig, white. If you are a darker skinned woman with shorter natural hair, giving Lupita realness, white, okay? Now, those are the archetypes that should be dating white guys. You see it everywhere, and so I wanted to share that with you. Now, how? How do we actually engage with white guys? Because guess what, girl? They're not going to approach you like, you know, men of color will, right? They're going to be a little bit more reserved. I always hear, oh my God, they're staring at me. Girl, here's what you're going to need to do. Now, please understand, if a white guy is chatting with you for 2 to 3 minutes, it's not a friendly neighbor conversation. He is interested in you. He's living for you. He likes you, right? So flirt back, girl. Flirt, yeah? If you see a guy and the white feet are pointing toward you, girl, he's into you. He likes you. The thing about white guys is that you're going to have to start the conversation. You're going to have to give him a compliment, smile. You're going to have to ask for help, ask for a recommendation. That's how you're going to interact and engage with these guys. Now, I know that you're asking, like, what kind of white guys, girl? Because no shade, but not all white guys are actually equal. So, a couple of things, right? Look at the hair. If it's a redhead, take him to bed. Yeah? If it's a long-haired white guy, long hair, don't care. If he is bald and over 35 years old, he's into you probably. If he's younger than 35, he's probably in the skinheads, girl, and you want to stay away. If he is European, he's into you. If he is like an artist, but like well-established and successful, he's into you. If he is, if he's an I, if he is Irish or Italian, girl, the eyes have it, and they probably need to have you. Now, I hope that this is helpful for you as you're navigating these white guys, girl, and have fun.
Anwar cracks me up. Now, I wanted to touch on a couple things. White men, and I'm not saying all white men, but there's a very decent percentage of white men who have always liked black women, okay? I need y'all to understand that, and I don't want y'all to think that you should listen to black men or even some white women tell you, oh, they're just fetishizing you. They don't really like you. Could that be true? Are there white men out there like that? Yes, but black men on average fetishize white women, Asian women, Latina women, black women. So you're not gonna, if you're using that as a reason to be scared to date outside your race, why? You're getting dogged out regardless. Think about what I'm saying. Many of them have always liked black women, and many of them always will. It's just that a lot of times they don't believe black women will date them. Because I will say one of the good things, it's not good technically, but one of the things about black women is that we have a reputation of being race loyal. That has proven to not be a good thing over the years. That's actually terrible to be that race loyal to a group of men who are not race loyal to you. That's what makes it terrible. But we have had that reputation for a while. So a lot of white men they just don't think that black women will pay them any attention. That's the issue. Then you do have some that are afraid of what their family and friends are going to say. Trust me, you don't want to deal with that type of white man anyways. You would need to deal with a white guy who don't give two shits what anybody has to say. He's comfortable in his masculinity. He's comfortable where he is in life. And he just wants him a black queen, which I'm so tired of that phrase, but whatever, y'all get what I'm trying to say. A lot of them absolutely love black women. They love so many things about us. When Anwar was talking about guys with long hair or bald guys, the two major relationships that I've dated, white guys, they were both bald. My man now and the rich one that I was with in my mid-20s. So I'm just saying, I don't know, that could just be a coincidence, but I absolutely like a bald man. And I also like men with hair. I don't really care. Doesn't matter to me, but I love me a bald man. But that's just, and then the part where he talked about you may have to start a conversation with them. Very true. It wasn't intentional, but that's how my relationship started. We just sparked up a conversation because he was in the break room eating his lunch and I walked in there to warm up my food and sparked up a conversation about cutting the grass and getting out and doing yard work. And the rest was history. I mean, that's pretty much how that happened. But then as I got to know him, he's like, I've been watching you the whole 2 years or 3. I've been there 3 years now. I've been watching you these past 2 years. This whole time, I thought you were absolutely beautiful. He loved the days when I wore my head wraps for whatever reason. Those are the days where my hair isn't done. I'm like, that's when I'm having a bad hair day. But my hair wraps are always matching my shirt or matching something that I'm wearing 9 times out of 10. And I have my makeup done and stuff like that. But he thought it was cute. So they pick up on little things like that as you get to know them. They'll tell you this stuff. Like, I've always thought you were very beautiful. I just didn't think you would ever give me a shot. I mean, I don't know too many black women with white men. So, sometimes that's just all it is. Doesn't have anything to do with anything else. Sometimes that's just it. I also knew as a black woman that I did not want children since I was 7. I've known this since I was a kid. So as I was getting older, I knew that if I wanted to find a man with no kids, I don't know how I knew this, but I knew it was going to be a white guy because there was no way I was going to find a black man either with no kids or who didn't want kids for his legacy of low achievement in the future. And I'm just saying that because I got that from the original Candace Kelly on TikTok. But anyways, I knew that my chances of finding that was going to be with a white man in particular, because I had known and had heard of, plenty of white men who are like, I just don't want kids. I don't want that responsibility. I like to get up and go hunting. I like to just get up and go. I like to do this when I want to. There are a lot of white men who have kids and have a family and stuff because that's what their culture teaches them. But deep down, a lot of these men don't actually want to get married. White men, black men, Asian men, Chinese men, whatever. They do it because that's what the patriarchy told them. That's what makes them a man. Deep down, a lot of these men don't want that. They just want to be able to sleep with whoever they want, come and go as they please, and have somebody cook for them for free and spicy time them for free and, wash their clothes for free. If they can find that, they'll do that. That's why a lot of men string women along and then give them a shut up ring until they find someone else who's not going to pressure them into getting married, or until they find someone who they want to marry. But most likely these men they're comfortable with getting their needs met without actually committing to you. So you have to keep that stuff in mind. Okay. You just have to. When I met him, the first conversation we had, I don't want kids. Do you want children? Nope. You're never going to change your mind, because if you change your mind, that's going to be the end of our relationship. I'm telling you that now. That's what I told him. I've dumped a few guys in the past because of this whole baby issue, including the rich white man that I dated when I was in my 20s. Rich, millionaire. Didn't care. We were never going to agree on the baby thing. I got tired of having that conversation. He was, 17 years older than me at the time as well. And I walked away from him. That's how adamant I've been my whole life about not having children. We talked about marriage and how we felt about marriage. I don't personally ever want to get married. I'm anti-marriage. He's like, I never really thought about it. I don't really care. Do I think his mind is changing slowly? I do. I could be wrong. I sense it. Maybe because he knows I don't really care about it. And sometimes men like a challenge. I don't know if that's I don't know. But these are the types of conversations you need to have in the very beginning. And that's just that on that. I don't want this to sound like I'm giving you dating advice, because I absolutely am not. I just know that every woman, every Black woman in particular, they're not going to follow the same child-free, marriage-free path. And I just want to travel. And I know y'all are not going to do that. I know there's facets of us. There's so many different faces of Black women. I know that. That's the only reason why I'm saying this. Your chances of getting what you want increase when you date outside the Black community. Say no to struggle love. If you're done with struggle love, if you're done with proving how much BS you can take from a man, if you're done with dealing with baby mama drama, if you're done with dealing with men who string you along and give you shut up rings or don't give you any ring at all, if marriage is what you want, if you're done with all of that and you don't want to deal with it anymore, you're going to have to escape the Black community. It is what it is. A lot of y'all are just going to find out the hard way. I don't know what else to tell you. Are there Black couples somewhere living their best life? I'm sure there are. Do they make up a high percentage? Absolutely not. They never have and they never will. It's a very low percentage, probably less than 3%, maybe even less than that. That thing is your chances. Okay, when you count out the amount of men who don't even like you, and when they do get married, they date Asian or white women or Latina women. When you cut out the men who are in prison, when you cut out the men who have nothing to offer you, like no home, no job, no nothing, when you cut out the amount of men who are gay, and not necessarily on the down low, but just gay, like flat out gay, you're already at a deficit because there are more Black women than there are Black men. And then you factor in all those things, your chances is almost non-existent. You're not going to have any other choice but to date out or be single, which there's nothing wrong with being single. Those are your two options. Or you're going to settle and you're going to stay in struggle love and you're going to be dealing with these coming to you as a woman and all the others. I'm not saying that cannot happen outside the community. That's not what I'm saying. It happens all the time. What I am saying is this is about increasing your odds. That's what this is about. It's going to be a game of roulette getting in the dating world, regardless to who you date. It's a crapshoot. Doesn't matter. But you need to go where your odds are higher and in your favor. And from my perspective, what I've seen on this earth for all the years I've been here, Black women, especially certain types of Black women, the ones who are open-minded, the ones who are striving for better, the ones who see their lives up here and not down here, certain types, okay? We figured it out. Your chances are better when you leave the Black community. If you stay here, you're typically you're okay with struggle love. How much crap can you put up with? How many baby mamas can you deal with at the same time that you're a baby mama? How many times you got to deal with your husband cheating on you and then shaming you for being a single mother after they made you a single mother? All this stuff that Black men do, right? The ways in which they talk about how white women are better and all this other stuff. And even as a Black woman who date white men, I don't necessarily think white men are better than Black men. It's just certain things about white men that align more with who I am as a person. Okay. In the previous video that I did about how Black women need to change their image, I just posted that right after this video or right before this video. So they're back to back. I talk about my experiences as a Black woman in the Black community and how I don't typically fit in. Unfortunately, I can fit in, but when it comes down to like my preferences and being bougie and high maintenance and all that stuff, I don't typically fit in. There is a small percentage of Black women that are like that. And I'm over here in this corner with a very small percentage of Black women. The things that I happen to like and revere and pay more attention to, I have found that alignment in white men. That has been my experience. I don't find it in Black men. I have never found it. Okay. If y'all want me to do an in-depth video about what those things are, leave a comment below because I will. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments. Make sure you subscribe. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. That's all I got to say for this for now. This topic will come up again, especially on my Patreon, which I'm working on. Don't forget to check us out. Myself, the YB Edit, and Gwen, we have a podcast called the Audaci-Tea. It is spelled with a TEA, like as in tea you drink, on the end instead of the traditional way that it's spelled. And we are found on Spotify and Apple. And really anywhere that you get your podcast downloads from. We are most active and most popular on Spotify. Just putting that out there. We have episodes dropping every Monday. Make sure you tune in. We talk about stuff like this all the time. We talk about things that are happening in the world that all pertains to and how it affects women. So we are all things women over there. I want y'all to know that in case you didn't know about the podcast. Okay? That's all for now. I'll catch you guys in the next video.
All together, girls. 1, 2, 3. F these men on the internet. They don't know what they want, but they will see what they can get. Oh, go and waste your one and only precious life while pretending not to have a full receding hairline. So keep your eyes on his hairline and your hand on your drink. For all you know, he is a psychopath. He'll leave you on red and he won't care if you're dead. And the psychics on TikTok are wrong.